everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and this is where we talk about all things books. Today we are celebrating my Booktube birthday. A couple things before we start with the questions. One is I've got a little bit of sinus stuff going on. I'm getting over a cold and our weather here cannot make up its mind. It either wants to be 30 degrees or 70 degrees and it flip-flops back and forth, and my sinuses have said no, not dealing with it. So there's that. And number two is I have a poll going on in my community tab about changing my name. So go there and vote whether yes, you want to change my name or no, you want me to keep it the same. I would really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and move on with the questions. Whoops, I don't have the right page. Number one, how many years on Booktube are you celebrating? 1. This is my first year on Booktube. I actually started the channel in October of 2022, but I didn't even post my first video until January of 2023. So that's when I'm counting it, is 2023 January until now. It has been 1 full year since I posted my first video. So there's that. Number 2 is, how have you changed from your first video until now? Honestly, I feel like I am more confident in front of the camera, and I am okay with making more mistakes in my videos. I know my first video, I probably recorded it 4, 5, 6 times, and I edited a lot. It's very edited, and it's mostly because I didn't want any ums and uhs, and I didn't want to put a lot of ands and so's and pauses. I edited all those out, so it is very polished. I'll put it, but I have learned that I'm not gonna edit all of those out. I just don't have the time or the want to. Plus it makes it feel more personable, I guess you could say, when you have those in there, because unless you're speaking publicly in front of an audience and you're holding something, a conference of some sort, I don't really think you need to not have the ums and ahs in there, ums and uhs and whatever else in there. So I definitely try and keep stuff in there and not edit out all of my mistakes. Number 3 is, what video are you most proud of and why? And it's actually 2 of them, and they go hand in hand because they're pretty much the same thing. And it is my trying to solve a murder mystery. And so I chose an Agatha Christie book. One of them is Murder at the Vicarage, and the second one is Halloween Party. And I had so much fun doing those, and I did them, and I was like, I don't even care if nobody watches these videos. I enjoyed doing this like clue and basically going around and writing down notes, taking notes, finding the clues, connecting the dots. I really had so much fun doing those, regardless of if people liked them or not. But as number 4 will tell you, what's your most popular video? My most popular video is my Booktube newbie tag. And then other than that is actually the Murder at the Vicarage, solving that mystery. And like I said, it ended up being a lot of fun doing that video. Number 4, oh wait, I just did number 4. Number 5 is, what have you struggled with on Booktube in the past year, and how did you overcome that struggle? What's the hardest thing about creating videos for YouTube? I struggled quite a bit this past year because I saw a lot of booktubers start, and they quickly grew an audience, and I just reached 100 subscribers. And I honestly have been kind of battling that, and I have been second guessing myself and wanting to not do it anymore. Honestly, I know it's one of those things where you go through, it's never just you feel good about videos all the time or feel good about creating videos all the time. You go through these ups and downs, and right now I am currently in a down, so a downswing, and I'll eventually come out of it, but I still have videos I want to do, and I still want to post them because maybe eventually somebody will enjoy the videos I make and talk to me about the books that I'm reading, and hopefully they'll enjoy the books that I'm reading as well. I know I also struggle with the fact that I think that I'm actually boring. And at least more boring than other booktubers. And so I know my videos aren't going to be as popular as those because I don't read a lot of popular books. I don't read a lot of popular books, and my voice is a little soft. So yeah, I know that eventually maybe I'll get there, and I'm going to keep trucking along. I'm going to keep making videos even though it's hard, and I guess that's kind of the answer. How did you handle it? I think that was the question. How did you overcome the struggle? I'm just going to keep making videos until I overcome the struggle. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Is I struggle sometimes looking at the numbers instead of just enjoying the ride, and I'm just going to have to stop looking at the numbers and just enjoy the ride. So number 6 is, have you had to deal with negative feedback or comments, and how did you handle it? I have not had to deal with any negative comments as of right now, so I'm all for constructive criticism. I have no problems with negative comments if people tell me things, but I honestly haven't had any, and that's mostly because the Booktube community is honestly really amazing. The few people that I do talk with, they've been very helpful, and I really enjoy talking to all of them. Number 7 is, shout out a huge supporter of your channel. My biggest supporter of my channel is my husband. He honestly helps me keep going. He is very supportive of me and listens to my gripes and my complaints and takes them all in stride, but he also pushes me along, and I'm really grateful for him for that. Number 8 is, what's the best book you've read this year? I actually just posted a video of my top 10 books of 2023. So I will leave that linked above or in the description. I'm not going to go through all of them because it would be way too repetitive, since I literally just did a video a couple weeks ago about that. So you can go watch that video if you want to see my top 10 favorites, but I will give you 2 of my favorites as of now. I will say that right now, The Red Palace is one of my favorites. I read that last month, and I have a review on that. You can watch that also. And the second one, which is in 2023, is, I guess I'm going to do 3 because it's kind of a tie. Mistborn, which I think is right there. Yeah, right there. Mistborn and Codename Edelweiss. Both of those are, yeah. So all 3 of those are some of my favorites. You can go watch my other videos if you want more details on them. And number 9 is, where do you see your channel in a year's time? And what do you hope to have achieved? I don't know where my channel will be in a year. My channel has been very slow growing, and I guess that's okay. But I would like to see more conversations, and I would like to have conversations with other booktubers and possibly even start my own book club community where where our community on my page picks a book and reads it together every month, and then we discuss it either through a live or an actual video. I don't know, whichever one you would prefer, but I would like to see these things come to fruition later on in my booktube journey, whether it's this year or next year. But the main thing that I want to see happen this year is I want to see my channel develop into more of a community. And so I'm learning and having to stretch myself. I don't post a whole lot on social media. I'm just not that type of person. So it's really hard for me to get in the habit of posting more regularly on YouTube or even on Instagram. I do have an Instagram, but I think the last time I posted something on there was like in November. Even my personal Instagram account, I don't. I think the last time I posted something was back in 2022. I just don't post a whole lot. I'm not a big social media person. And so it's hard for me to get into trying to build that community. I thought the community would build just from long form videos, but it's looking like it's not. So I'm going to have to figure out some other way to build this community so I can have more of a response from my viewers, because I would like that. I want to talk about books. That's the whole point of me starting this journey, is I wanted to find people to talk to about books that I've read and books that you're reading. And even if you didn't like what I read or I didn't like what you read, I wouldn't care. It would still be good quality conversations to have. And that's what I wanted when I started this journey. And that's what I'm going to have to keep in my head going forward. Number 10 is, what was an unexpected surprise of being on YouTube? I don't really have any unexpected surprises. Like I said, my YouTube is still relatively small, so I don't know. I have no idea. Number 11 is thoughts on equipment and what has been the most useful piece of equipment you've bought. Honestly, I don't really use a whole lot of equipment. I use my phone to record. I don't have a microphone as of right now. I have been trying to find one for my phone that's good and that gives me good quality audio, but as of right now I haven't been able to find one. I bought one last year, and it was a wireless one, and it did not work very well. It had ringing, and it just was not a good microphone, so I sent that one back. And then I bought one just recently, and it was a corded one where I could plug it up to the aux port in my phone, but it didn't work very well either. I actually used it when I recorded the Red Palace, and I ended up having to record the review for the Red Palace 3 times because of that microphone. The first time, it didn't pick up any audio, and I was really, really bummed about that, because that was the first go round, and typically I end up if I record something multiple times, two or 3 times, I usually still end up going with the first recording because I like that one better. And honestly, I felt like that one was the best one, but I couldn't hear anything, so I couldn't even use it. And I was so upset about that. The second time I recorded it, it did have audio, but it had a buzzing noise, and it was really loud. It wasn't even something that was just, kind of quiet in the background. and you could just post it anyway. No, it was so loud that the video was not usable. And so I had to just not use that microphone at all and record it again for the third time, which I normally don't. Typically, I don't record something numerous times. Usually I will just do it and get done with it, because I just don't have a lot of time to sit here and record every video multiple times. Typically, I have like a 30-minute window where I can sit down and record a video and be done with it. And that's typically what I do, is just I blurt everything out and move on. But having to do this 3 times was so upsetting. And honestly, it kind of stunk, because I loved that book and I wanted to do the review justice. And by the 3rd time, I was just not wanting to even do the review anymore. I just wanted to say forget it and move on to something else. But I wanted to do a good quality review on the book, because it ended up being one of my favorite books so far this year. Now, for the last question, it's what advice would you give to someone thinking of starting a booktube? The one thing that I would say to do is just, if you're thinking of doing a booktube channel, do the booktube newbie tag as your first video. Get that video out of the way. Or if you don't feel like doing the booktube newbie tag as your first video, choose something like, here are my favorite books that I enjoy reading. Just get that video out of the way, because that one is the hardest. And then after that, just come up with several ideas and write them down, and then choose them and record them. That's what I say. And then also create a schedule. Like I typically try and post every Thursday. There are times where I can't, and so I'll post on a Friday. I'll post it on a Friday, but that's very rare. It usually ends up being on a Thursday. I'm actually thinking about moving it to Wednesday. That way I don't have to worry about it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to just start recording or editing my videos and posting them on Wednesday. I think my videos did better when I did that. Anyway, moving on from that, I would say pick a schedule, pick a day that you want to post every single day. Don't try and do 4 or 5 videos a week. Choose 1 video per week, and then you can add more. So start simple, just start, and then create a schedule. Those are my pieces of advice. And that's pretty much what I have done. I did do 2 videos a week when I first started, and then quickly realized my schedule was not conducive to those videos. So I scaled back and went to 1 video a week. Did I say 2 videos a month? I meant 2 videos a week. So I scaled back and then went to 1 video per week. And that ended up being a lot better schedule for me. And it's been a lot more enjoyable since I did that. But that is all that I have. Those are all the questions. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions for me, please leave them in the comments and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. I typically try and answer within 24 hours. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It honestly really helps me out. And I appreciate all of you who watch my videos. I'm not even kidding. All of you. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.